Hi, I'm Cynthia Schiller. Please like and subscribe. I just have a little something interesting. Some of us are worried about this new supply. Will the narcissist change? And I was going through looking at a bunch of different images. It kind of deals with facial expressions, body language, jealousy, and just little subtleties. So can our narcissist change? They're going to have facial expressions that are going to come out, kind of jealous stares or those controlling. It's just part of who they are. So even if they do change the communication skills, it's when you're hurt, you're going to grimace a certain way. When you're uncomfortable or tired or just certain things happen, and the narcissist has to struggle with that too. So would they move on with this new supply? Eventually there's going to be little things that irritate the narcissist, and it's just those dirty glares, and then you're like, what's wrong? And then they try to hide it, which is a lie. They're makes the other person feel uncomfortable or self-conscious, and that's when the ball gets rolling. That's when it snowballs out of control, because the new supply is going to get confused, like what just happened. So even if they try to cover it up, they have to cover it up with a lie. If they say, well, you irritated me, you can only hear that for so long before you start getting sensitive, trying to change certain things. But now that you're changing things and the new supply is changing things, they're walking on eggshells, and it is a constant cycle. So are you worried about the new supply? The relationship will die. Whether they stay together or not, that's a whole different situation. But there's not the love. There's not the love. And the narcissist has too many obstacles to overcome for it to be a healthy relationship. It might be a little bit better, but it's just prolonging the inevitable. So they've learned more tools of the trade, different ways to manipulate, how to be more effective, how to have better love bombing. Plus, as they get older, usually, not always, but usually you can earn more money, and they might be able to afford better gifts, more lavish vacations. But the narcissists, they always destroy trips and family outings or special days. It's just going to show a pouty face, or the way that they cross their legs. They do studies on body language. When you're really close with somebody, you turn your legs in towards each other. Little things like that. Be careful in photos. We're all trained in a sense. Why do we always say smile? We always say smile because we want these happy pictures, whether it's of our kids or our grandparents or hanging out together. Regardless of what these people feel, we're always like, smile. And that's what you see on Facebook. We don't know. Just like my family reunions, do you know which one broke up? Do you know which one just had a miscarriage? Do you know which one is fighting with their spouse? You don't know. We all look happy. And that's what's portrayed on the internet. Also with these filters and Photoshop, or you can go take a picture outside an expensive hotel and lie and say that you were there. Great weekend this weekend. Narcissists love to portray this image, and everything about them is a lie. So when they're smiling with this new supply, they're still who they are on the inside. And I just thought it was interesting that how much you can see in just these facial expressions. It was just random photos, like maybe there was like two kids holding an ice cream, and just like the look of other people, or just kind of like accidental photo bombs kind of thing, where it's a happy two female friends. I don't think they were dating. I just think it was two teenage girls. And then the prom girl or homecoming girl really looked angry, and it was because somebody else is getting attention on their special day, or whatever. And I'm not saying she's a narcissist. They usually don't diagnose that till after you're 18, but narcissists are in a younger state of mind. And I teach a class on body language and tone of voice. It takes a while to understand how to get along in society. And our youth, I'm a teacher, it's getting worse. They haven't been taught how to interact with each other. There's a lot of dirty looks, fake apologies, you know, and it's sad. I did it in another video where the teacher's like trying to help, you know, but we're like, say you're sorry. And the kid's like, oh, sorry. They're like, no, say it nicely, but they don't know what they're sorry for and they don't mean it. So even though it's said, the person getting the apology is used to getting fake apologies. There's no self-reflection on what they're even sorry for. Society is just falling apart. I saw something too that female narcissists are on the rise at astronomical proportions. And also Sam Backman had said that, how did he word it? But it is true. Like the narcissist basically is only happy when they turn us into a narcissist. So we are taking on their tendencies. They were in survival mode. Now we're in survival mode. We've latched onto them. At first, the idealization stage is when we're like both mothering each other. We're both loving and giving and everything's perfect. And then in a narcissistic mind, somebody needs to control. And to make decisions. You know, they don't like to compromise. So there's always going to be, if it's a mother-child situation, they turn us into the child where we're dependent upon them. Or we go along with things like, yeah, that's fine. I'll go to the baseball game. I'm not crazy about baseball, but why not? You know, I get to spend time with you. And then they become entitled, or they're like, you always did that before. So now it's like a routine that they're expecting. They don't hear the, you know, I'm not crazy about baseball. They hear, you know, that we'll go with them, and that was not a contract for life. But they take what they want. They develop the life that they want. And as they knock us down into this childlike state, we are now in that, like that toddler stage, to where, you know, we cry. We don't know how to communicate effectively, and that's not our fault because we do try. It's just two different languages. It's where I live, it's English. I don't care if you're Italian, French, whatever you guys are, you're usually speaking the same language, but it's separated into two different, it's like two different languages. So there's no connection. Just like a French and Italian speaking, and they're like, what? An Italian and a Spanish person might be able to get a couple words because there's a point of reference. Some of the words are similar. I can read Italian. I know Spanish. I don't know Italian. I can't speak it. Maybe I could read it. But when you're reading, I have a point of reference to understand bits and pieces of it, and I get the gist of it. But the narcissist doesn't have the bits and pieces of empathy to get the gist of what we're saying. So the new supply, if they're narcissistic, they're going to butt heads. They'll get the adrenaline rush, but eventually it's going to escalate and escalate and escalate. One of them is going to get sick and not having the control, or it's going to turn physical. It's just going to get super toxic. Maybe they'll have all those adrenaline rushes and, you know, see who can one up. So it's a challenge. Narcissists love challenges. That's why, you know, they'll go after a victim. Another thing too is, how much do they really invest in the new supply before choosing them as a life partner? And I'm kind of starting to do a little study on my shorts. I just started doing shorts. I'm getting some really good subscribers. Thank you guys. But it's a little interesting. I've been doing this for 6 or 7 months now. And it's kind of consistent. Certain videos get more than others. But my likes are at a certain percentage. They're pretty consistent for the most part. There's some variation. But it's pretty much, regardless of what I talk about, it's pretty similar, unless it's like something that really hit home with a lot of people, above and beyond. Like, I've never heard somebody say it that way. But my shorts, for one thing, they're 60 seconds long. Some are shorter, and So it's almost like an expectation, like entertain me now. I want instant gratification. And because my likes versus dislikes are a lot more than usually people just like the stuff. Sometimes they dislike on the longer videos, but they are here to learn, here to listen, here to process. But people just coming across them, they're so quick to like or dislike, and or subscribe even. And that's the mode that we're starting to be in is, you know, I'm going to judge you on 15 seconds. Nope, dislike. And it's like, you know, it's just interesting. I'm going to see, and my point is the investment that the narcissist puts in. They are like the people who are watching my shorts. Nope, like it, don't like it, like it, don't like it. Next, next. As opposed to, oh, that was only like 30 seconds. What is she trying to say? And if it doesn't relate to them, just skip the video. Skip the video. If you know, I don't know, maybe I did a narcissistic one and you have somebody who's borderline. So you're like, that doesn't relate. Or borderline is pretty similar though, but something different. So if it doesn't relate to them, nope, don't like you or your video. And the narcissist doesn't invest. They don't invest. What they do invest, they want in return for life. They'll invest it during the love bombing stage. And it's just a cycle. It is just a cycle. And I definitely wanted to make the point. They got to do their facial expressions, their body language, their movements. It's, you know, like even this mini silent treatments where they say something, they're in the middle of a conversation, you say something, they're like, oh, and then they answer. They're showing disgust. And then we're like, what did we do wrong? Or why am I upsetting them? I don't want to, you know, it's going to fall apart. Rest assured, it'll fall apart. Comment below your exes that got married. How long did it last? Some last a long time, some last forever, but it's the physical state of living together. The emotional state, yeah, that love doesn't last. And narcissists do have certain patterns of having their soulmate within how long. So big hugs to you. Comment below. One-on-ones are available, and I love topic requests. I'll see you soon.